Captain June Kim stared at the message on his screen. He read it 3 times to be sure. The Galactic Council had called an emergency meeting, and Earth was asked to send a representative immediately. June had been chosen. "This can't be good," he muttered. 5 years had passed since humans discovered they weren't alone in the universe. 3 years since Earth joined the Galactic Council. It hadn't been easy. The other species had a special name for planets like Earth. Deathworlds. Places so harsh and dangerous that most aliens couldn't believe intelligent life had evolved there. June's comm beeped. "Captain Kim, are you there?" It was Admiral Park. "Yes, Admiral. I just got the message." "Good. You leave in 6 hours. The Council ship is already in orbit." June frowned. "Do we know what this emergency is about?" "No," said Admiral Park. "They're being tight-lipped, but they specifically asked for you, and they want you to bring Dr. Na Yong as your science advisor." "The xenobiologist?" "Yes. She's the best we have at understanding alien biology. That might be a clue about what this meeting concerns." June nodded. "I'll contact her right away." "One more thing, Captain," Admiral Park added. "Remember how most Council species react to us. Be gentle." June sighed. He knew what the Admiral meant. Most aliens found humans terrifying. It wasn't just that Earth had higher gravity, extreme weather, and dangerous wildlife. Humans themselves were seen as unusually tough and resilient. What seemed normal to June was nightmare fuel to species from gentler worlds. "I'll pack my friendliest smile," June said. Dr. Na Young was in her lab when June found her. She was studying cell samples from 3 different alien species, comparing them with human cells. "Dr. Na," June called from the doorway. She looked up, pushing her glasses back into place. "Captain Kim, this is unexpected. We need to go off-world, now. The Council has called an emergency meeting." Her eyes widened. "And they want me there? Why?" "I was hoping you might have some ideas." Na shook. Her head, "None. But it must be something biological if they want a xenobiologist." June checked his watch. "We have 5 hours to pack and get to the shuttle." The Council ship GCS Harmony was massive. It looked like a great silver city floating in space. As their shuttle approached, June and Na stared in wonder. No matter how many times he saw these alien vessels, June never got used to their size and beauty. The shuttle docked smoothly in one of the Harmony's many bays. When the doors opened, June felt the difference immediately. The air was thinner, than on Earth, and warmer too. The gravity was lighter, making him feel like he might bounce if he walked too quickly. "Standard Council settings," Na whispered. "Set for the comfort of most member species. Too bad most of them find our comfort settings unbearable." A blue-skinned alien with 4 arms waited for them. It wore the silver uniform of Council staff. "Captain Kim, Dr. Na," it said in careful English. "Welcome aboard the Harmony. I am Trill, your liaison. Please follow me." As they walked through the corridors, June noticed how other aliens reacted to them. Some moved to the far side of the hallway. Others stared with what he had learned to recognize as fear. One small furry creature actually turned and hurried away when it saw them coming. "Don't take it personally," Trill said quietly. "Many species have never seen humans in person before." "They're afraid of us," Na said. Trill hesitated. "You come from a Class 12 death world. Your physical capabilities are concerning to some." June had heard this before. Humans could tolerate radiation levels that would kill most Council species. They could survive temperature ranges that seemed impossible. They could even heal from injuries that would be fatal to others. What seemed like basic survival traits on Earth looked like superpowers to aliens from gentle worlds. "We've arranged quarters for you," Trill continued. "The environmental controls have been adjusted to Earth standards as much as possible." "Thank you," June said. "But can you tell us why we're here? What's this emergency?" Trill stopped walking and looked around nervously. "I shouldn't say too much before the official meeting, but..." The alien lowered its voice. "The Council has discovered another Deathworld species," Na gasped. "Another one?" Like humans? Yes. From a world called Malkath. Also a Class 12 environment like Earth. They've achieved faster-than-light travel and are approaching council space. June felt a strange mix of emotions. Excitement at finding another species with a similar background, concern about how the council was reacting, and curiosity about these Malkathians. "Why is this an emergency?" he asked. Trill's four hands made a complex gesture that June couldn't interpret. "The council is concerned. You are the only Deathworld species we know. Your perspective is valuable. The council hopes you can help determine if these newcomers are a threat." "So they're scared?" Na said bluntly. "With respect, Doctor, wouldn't your people be cautious if you discovered beings who could survive conditions that would kill humans instantly?" June had to admit Trill had a point. "When is the meeting?" "Tomorrow morning. You should rest now. The journey from Earth is tiring for your kind, I'm told." Their quarters were better than June expected. The council had clearly tried to make the rooms Earth-like. The gravity was almost right, though still a bit light. The temperature was cooler than the corridors, closer to what humans preferred. Na sat on her bed, typing notes into her tablet. "I wonder what these Malkathians are like. Another Deathworld species. Think of what we might learn from each other." June was looking out the viewport at the stars. "I'm more concerned about how the council is handling this. Did you notice how..." Trill spoke. "They're treating these newcomers like a potential invasion. Can you blame them? Look how they still react to us, and we've been members for 3 years. June nodded. He remembered the endless tests when humans first contacted the council, the disbelief when aliens learned about Earth's conditions, the fear when they realized what humans could survive. His comm unit beeped. It was a message from Trill. "Captain Dr. Na, I've sent you all the information we have on the Malkathians. It isn't much. The council meeting begins at 800 Council Standard Time tomorrow. I'll escort you there." Na was already opening the files on her tablet. June joined her, looking over her shoulder. There were images of a planet that looked surprisingly Earth-like, though with a redder tint to its landmasses. There were readings of its atmosphere, gravity, and radiation levels. "It really is like Earth," Na said, her voice filled with wonder. "Maybe a bit harsher in some ways. Higher background radiation, stronger gravity." "Any images of the Malkathians themselves?" Na scrolled through the data. Just this one long-range scan. The image was blurry, but June could make out a roughly humanoid shape. It looked both familiar and alien at the same time. "Tomorrow is going to be interesting," he said. Na nodded, still staring at the image. "Yes. And I think the council is going to be even more afraid once they have 2 Deathworld species in the same room." Neither of them knew just how right she was. June woke early after a restless night. The lighter gravity made sleeping difficult, and his mind kept racing with thoughts about the Malkathians. He checked his watch. It was 0700 Council Standard Time. 1 hour until the meeting. Na was already awake, reviewing the data on her tablet. "Find anything new?" June asked, pouring himself a cup of coffee from the machine the council had thoughtfully provided. "Not much," Na said, "but I've been thinking. The council is treating this like a crisis, but maybe it's an opportunity. Another species that evolved in conditions like Earth's. Think of what we could learn from each other." June nodded. "If the council doesn't scare them away first." At precisely 0745, Trill arrived at their door. The blue-skinned alien seemed more nervous than yesterday. "Is everything okay?" June asked as they walked. "The council chamber is tense," Trill said. "Many representatives are uncomfortable with the situation." "Has there been contact with the Malkathians?" Na asked. "Yes. Their ship has been detected approaching council space. They've sent communications saying they wish to establish peaceful relations." "That sounds positive," June said. Trill made a gesture with 2 of its forearms. "Some council members fear it could be a trick," June sighed. "Because they're from a death world." "Yes," Trill admitted. "Many remember how shocked everyone was when they learned of Earth's conditions. The idea of another such species is challenging. They reached the end of a long corridor. Ahead of them stood massive doors carved with symbols representing all 37 council species. Earth's symbol, a simple blue and green circle, was the newest and smallest. The council chamber, Trill announced. All 37 species will be represented today. This is rare for any but the most important matters. The doors opened silently, revealing a vast circular room. June had seen images but never visited the chamber in person. It was impressive. Tiered seating surrounded a central speaking area. Some seats were standard chairs, but others were specially designed for different physiologies. There were water tanks for aquatic species, low-gravity bubbles for those from lighter worlds, and special environments for beings with unique atmospheric needs. Every seat was filled. As June and Na entered, many alien eyes, sensory organs, and scanning devices turned toward them. June felt the familiar weight of being seen as the dangerous human. The human representatives will take their assigned places, announced a metallic voice. Trill guided them to 2 seats marked with Earth's symbol. They were built stronger than most, designed to support human weight in the chamber's lighter gravity. In the center of the chamber stood a tall, thin alien with silvery skin that seemed to reflect light. This was High Counselor Vex, the elected leader of the Galactic Council. "This emergency session will now begin," Vex said, voice echoing through the chamber. "For those who have not been briefed, we have confirmed that a species from the planet Malkath, a Class 12 death world, has achieved faster-than-light travel and is approaching council space." A murmur ran through the chamber. June noticed how the word death world caused visible reactions among many species. "We have made initial contact," Vex continued. "They claim to seek peaceful relations. However, our scans of their vessel indicate significant military capabilities that exceed council standards." A holographic display appeared in the center of the chamber, showing a sleek ship with what even June could recognize as weapon systems. "Their technology appears to be roughly equivalent to human technology when Earth first achieved FTL capability," Vex said. "However, there are concerning differences." The display changed to show what appeared to be footage of Malkathian soldiers in some kind of training exercise. They moved with strength and speed that reminded June of human special forces. The aliens in the chamber shifted uncomfortably. "High Counselor," June said, standing. "May I ask a question?" Vex turned toward him. The human representative is recognized. "What exactly are you concerned about? These capabilities seem normal for a species from a high-gravity world with higher background radiation, like humans." "That is precisely the concern, Captain Kim," Vex replied. "Your species has caused significant adjustment in council thinking. The prospect of another such species raises security concerns." A representative from a gaseous species floated forward in its containment field. "We have barely adapted to humans. They can survive radiation that would kill my people instantly. They can break bones with their bare hands. And now we face another such species? We should deny them entry to council space." Several representatives voiced agreement. June felt frustration building. Na stood beside him. "May I speak?" Vex nodded. "I'm a xenobiologist," Na said. "I've studied how different environments shape evolution. Yes, Earth's conditions made humans resilient in ways that seem extreme to you. But those same conditions taught us the value of cooperation. Harsh worlds don't just create strong bodies. They create societies that work together to survive." "Pretty words," said another alien, a short being with thick plate-like skin. "But humans have a long history of warfare among themselves." "Yes," June admitted. "We've made mistakes. But since joining the galactic community, hasn't Earth been a peaceful member? We've followed all council regulations." Vex raised a hand for silence. "This is why we wanted human representatives present. Your perspective as the only other known Death World species is valuable." The holographic display changed again, showing clearer images of the Malkathians. They were roughly humanoid but with noticeable differences. Their skin appeared tougher, their muscles more pronounced, and their eyes were larger, possibly adapted for lower light. Na leaned forward, studying the images with professional interest. "Fascinating. Convergent evolution. Similar environmental pressures creating similar adaptations. What we need to determine, Vex said, is whether these Malkathians represent a threat to Council security. June shook his head. Based on what? That they evolved on a harsh world? That they built ships to protect themselves? What would you have done if humans had arrived with no defenses at all? A small, bird-like alien chirped loudly. The human makes a valid point. We cannot judge based on evolution alone. Thank you, June said, nodding to the bird alien. Vex turned to face June directly. What would you suggest, Captain? Treat them with respect, not fear. Learn about them before judging them. Na added, from a scientific perspective, it would be fascinating to compare our evolutionary paths. Two intelligent species from similar planetary conditions? We could learn so much. Vex seemed about to respond when a council aide rushed into the chamber, whispering urgently to the High Counselor. Vex's silvery skin seemed to pale. It appears, Vex announced, that the decision may be out of our hands. A Malkathian ship has arrived at this station and is requesting permission to dock. The chamber erupted in shocked voices. Some representatives called for defensive measures, others demanded immediate evacuation. June stood tall amidst the chaos. High Counselor, if I may make a suggestion, the room gradually quieted. Let me be part of the greeting party, June said. As a fellow Deathworlder, I might be able to establish a connection that would be more difficult for others. Na quickly added, I should go too. My scientific knowledge could be valuable. Vex considered for a long moment while the chamber waited in tense silence. Very well, the High Counselor finally said. Captain Kim and Dr. Na will join the official welcome party, but security forces will be present. As they left the chamber, June heard the worried discussions continue behind them. He turned to Na. Ready to meet our fellow Deathworlders? Na smiled, excitement in her eyes. Absolutely, but I don't think the Council is ready for what happens when two Deathworld species meet face to face. They hurried toward the docking bay, about to make history. The docking bay was filled with tension. Council security forces lined the walls holding weapons that June knew were designed to incapacitate rather than kill. He counted at least 30 guards, all looking nervous. Seems excessive, he whispered, to Na. They're scared, she replied. Remember how they reacted when humans first arrived? June did remember. Earth's first contact team had been met with similar security measures. The Council had been shocked to discover that what humans considered normal environmental conditions were deadly to most other species. Trill approached them, its blue skin looking paler than before. The Malkathian ship has completed docking procedures, Trill said. Their atmosphere appears compatible with the station's. They have requested to send 2 representatives. Only 2? June asked, surprised. Yes. They say they wish to keep the first meeting simple. High Counselor Vex arrived, followed by representatives from 5 other major council species. They stayed well back from the airlock. Captain Kim, Vex called. You and Dr. Na will be our frontline greeters. Please remember you represent not just Earth but the entire Council. June nodded. We understand. A light above the airlock turned, from red to green. The docking process was complete. Everyone in the bay seemed to hold their breath as the heavy door began to slide open. June stepped forward with Na beside him. They stood tall and straight, ready to greet the newcomers. The airlock door finished opening. For a moment, nothing happened. Then 2 figures emerged from the shadows. The Malkathians were roughly humanoid, as the scans had suggested. They stood, slightly taller than June, with broader shoulders and more visible muscle definition. Their skin was a deep reddish brown with a slightly metallic sheen. Their eyes were indeed larger than human eyes, dark and alert, taking in everything around them. The first Malkathian wore what appeared to be formal attire, a fitted suit of dark material with symbols etched in silver. The second wore what June recognized as military gear, though without visible weapons. Welcome to Harmony Station, June said, stepping forward with his hand extended in the human greeting gesture. I am Captain June Kim of Earth, and this is Dr. Na Young, our xenobiologist. The lead Malkathian looked at June's extended hand with obvious recognition. A smile spread across his face as he reached out and clasped June's hand firmly. "Earth," the Malkathian said, his voice deep and clear. "We have heard of your world. Another Class 12 planet. I am Hansu, diplomat of Malkath. This is Min, my security chief." The handshake between June and Han was firm, much firmer than what June would use with most humans. He realized Han was testing his strength, just as June was unconsciously doing. "The same." Na stepped forward. "It's fascinating to meet another species from a high-gravity world. Your physiological adaptations appear similar to ours in many ways." Min, the security chief, nodded at Na. "We noted the same when we received data about humans. The similarities are comforting." High Counselor Vex approached cautiously. "On behalf of the Galactic Council, I officially welcome the representatives of Malkath to this station." Han turned to Vex, giving a slight bow. "We thank the Council for receiving us. Malkath wishes to establish peaceful relations with all species." As Vex began formal introductions, June noticed how the other aliens maintained their distance from both humans and Malkathians. Two Deathworlders in the same room had doubled their anxiety. The formal greetings continued as the group moved from the docking bay toward a reception room. June found himself walking beside Han, while Na fell into conversation with Min about their respective worlds. "Your council friends seem nervous," Han said quietly to June. "They find our physical capabilities intimidating," June replied. "Earth's conditions make us seem dangerous to them." Han nodded. "We have experienced the same reaction in our limited contact with other species. It is strange to be feared for simply existing as we evolved." "How did Malkath discover FTL travel?" June asked. "Much like your people, I imagine. Necessity drove innovation. Our sun has been showing signs of instability. We needed to find new worlds." Their conversation was interrupted by a loud cracking sound from above. June looked up just as a support beam in the ceiling gave way. A massive section of ceiling material broke loose directly above a group of smaller alien delegates. Without thinking, June leaped forward. At almost the same moment, Han did the same. They reached the falling debris simultaneously, each catching part of the massive section that would have crushed the aliens beneath it. The room froze in stunned silence. June and Han stood side by side, each holding up several hundred kilograms of metal and composite materials as if it were nothing extraordinary. The small aliens who had nearly been crushed stared up at them with what June recognized as the alien equivalent of open-mouthed shock. "Poor construction standards," Han commented casually, adjusting his grip on the heavy debris. "Council stations aren't built for our gravity standards," June replied, equally casual. "Want to set this down somewhere?" Together, they carried the massive chunk of ceiling to an empty area of the floor and placed it down carefully. Only then did June notice that every alien in the room was staring at them with expressions ranging from awe to terror. Na broke the silence, walking over to Min. "That was impressive reaction speed from both our species. I'd estimate the acceleration of the falling debris at about 7.3 meters per second squared. On Earth or Malkath, it would have fallen faster." Min nodded. "I estimate both Captain Kim and Diplomat Han moved at approximately 4 times the reaction speed of the average Council species." "Fascinating evolutionary parallel," Na continued, not seeming to notice the stunned silence around them. "Both our species developed rapid threat assessment and physical response capabilities." High Counselor Vex appeared to have gone several shades paler. The reception room is this way," the counselor finally managed to say. As they moved toward the reception, June noticed that the security forces were no longer attempting to look casual. They were now openly gripping their weapons, though none were pointed directly at anyone. In the reception room, food and drinks had been prepared, including special options for Earth and Malkath biochemistry. June and Han found themselves standing together at one end of the room, while most of the council representatives gathered at the other end, speaking in hushed tones and casting nervous glances their way. "I believe we've made quite an impression," Han said, taking a drink from a server. Not exactly the impression I was hoping for, June replied. Na and Min approached them, deep in scientific discussion. The evolutionary convergence is remarkable, Na was saying. Both our species developed denser bone structures, more efficient muscle tissue, and enhanced metabolic systems, all logical adaptations to high gravity and environmental stress. Yet, our worlds took different evolutionary paths in other ways, Min replied. Our visual system adapted for the dimmer light of our red sun, while your hearing seems more sensitive than ours. June watched as the council representatives continued to stare at the four of them. I think we're going to have an interesting council meeting when we reconvene, he said. Han smiled. Indeed, 2 Deathworlders in the council chamber. I suspect some of them might prefer we were enemies rather than getting along so well. A council aide approached, looking nervous. The High Counselor has called for the emergency session to resume in 30 minutes. All representatives are requested to attend. As the aide hurried away, June turned to Han. Ready to terrify a room full of aliens with our friendship? Han's smile widened. I believe that will be the most entertaining diplomatic meeting I have ever attended. The 4 Deathworlders finished their drinks and prepared to face the council together. The council chamber was even more crowded than before. News had spread quickly about what happened in the docking bay. Every representative wanted to see the 2 Deathworld species together. June and Na entered alongside Han and Min. They walked, side by side, to the center of the chamber, where 4 seats had been placed. June noticed that these seats were reinforced, built to support beings from high-gravity worlds. High Counselor Vex called the meeting to order. The silvery alien's voice shook slightly. This emergency session will now continue, Vex announced. We welcome the representatives from Malkath, who have requested to address the council. Han stood. His powerful frame seemed to draw all eyes in the room. Honorable representatives of the Galactic Council, Han began. I bring greetings from Malkath. For many years, we believed we were alone in the universe. When we discovered signals from other worlds, it brought great joy to our people. Han paused, looking around the chamber. However, as we made our first contacts, we found that many species feared us. They called our world a death world and treated us with suspicion. We did not understand why until we learned more about other planets. What is normal for us is harsh and deadly to most species. Murmurs ran through the chamber. June could see many representatives shifting uncomfortably. We come seeking peaceful relations, Han continued. We wish to join this council as Earth has done. We bring new technologies, new perspectives, and a sincere desire for friendship. A representative from a gas giant planet floated forward in its containment field. How can we trust beings who can tear apart metal with their bare hands? Who can survive radiation that would kill most of us? Your very biology makes you dangerous. Min stood beside Han. Is a knife dangerous? Yes. But in the hands of a surgeon, it saves lives. In the hands of a chef, it creates meals. Strength itself is not good or bad. It depends on how it is used. None nodded in agreement. The same evolutionary pressures that made our species physically strong also taught us the value of cooperation. On harsh worlds, working together isn't just nice, it's necessary for survival. A small insect-like alien clicked its mandibles. Yet both your species have histories of warfare among your own kind. Yes, June admitted. We've made mistakes. We've fought wars. But we've also built peace. Humans have not had a global war in over a century. We learned that cooperation accomplishes more than conflict. Han looked at June with interest. Malkath has a similar history. As our technology grew more powerful, we realized war would destroy us all. We united our world before reaching for the stars. High Counselor Vex stepped forward. The Council's concern is practical. 2 species with your physical capabilities could potentially overpower our security measures if you wished. June and Han exchanged glances. Then, to the surprise of everyone in the chamber, they both laughed. Counselor, June said, if we wanted to conquer, why would we join the Council at all? Earth has been a member for 3 years. Have we ever used our strength against anyone? And Malkath seeks knowledge and trade, not conquest, Han added. Our world faces challenges that we cannot solve alone. Our sun is becoming unstable. Within a few generations, we may need to relocate our people. This revelation caused another stir in the chamber. Many representatives were whispering to each other. Na stepped forward. If I may, High Counselor, I've been studying both human and Malkathian biology. The similarities are fascinating, but our differences are equally important. Together, our scientific knowledge could benefit all council species. Min nodded. Dr. Na has shown me human medical technologies that could help Malkathians, and we have environmental adaptation techniques that might help humans. A bird-like alien fluttered its wings for attention. What exactly are you proposing? June looked at Han, who nodded slightly. We propose creating a joint advisory committee, June said. Humans and Malkathians working together to help the Council understand Deathworld perspectives, and to help future Deathworld species integrate more smoothly when they're discovered. Which will happen, Han added. The universe is vast. There must be other worlds like ours, with species evolving to survive harsh conditions. A reptilian counselor hissed, loudly. This sounds like the beginning of a Deathworlder alliance that could dominate the Council by force. The chamber erupted in nervous voices. Some representatives were calling for restrictions on Deathworld species. Others demanded special security measures. Han and June exchanged glances again, and both shook their heads, smiling. With respect, Counselor, June said loudly, cutting through the noise. You misunderstand us completely. The room gradually fell silent. Species from difficult worlds don't evolve to conquer, June continued. We evolve to persist, to adapt, to survive. And the greatest survival strategy is cooperation, not conflict. Han stepped beside him. On Malkath, we have a saying, the harshest winter brings neighbors together. When the environment itself is your greatest challenge, you learn quickly that working together is the only way forward. Na joined them. From a scientific perspective, this makes perfect sense. In challenging environments, species that cooperate have higher survival rates than those that waste energy fighting each other. Vex considered their words. Your logic is sound, but fear is not always logical. Many council species will need time to adjust to having two Deathworld species among us. We understand, June said. Earth faced the same challenges when we joined. We're willing to be patient, as is Malkath. Han agreed. After much debate, the council voted. It was not unanimous, but a majority agreed to welcome Malkath as a probationary member, with Earth serving as their sponsor and guide. As the meeting ended, June, Na, Han, and Min walked together through the corridors of the station. Council representatives gave them a wide berth, still uncomfortable with the sight of 4 Deathworlders together. I have a proposal, Han said to June. What if we created a permanent Deathworld embassy? A place where our species can work together, and where future Harshworld species can find welcome and understanding when they join the galactic community. June smiled. I like that idea. A place built to our environmental standards, where we don't have to worry about breaking the furniture or scaring the neighbors. A center for scientific exchange as well, Na added excitedly. We could compare how our different worlds solved similar evolutionary challenges. And a security hub, Min suggested. Deathworlders could serve as emergency responders for situations too dangerous for other species. As they discussed their plans, 2 small aliens passed by, whispering to each other. June's enhanced hearing caught their words clearly. 2 Deathworld species working together. May the stars help us all. Han heard it too. He smiled at June. They still don't understand, do they? They will, eventually, June replied. They see our strength and think of danger. They don't yet see how that same strength can protect them. On Malkath, we have another saying, Han said. The strongest tree bends to shelter others in the storm. June nodded. On Earth we say, with great power comes great responsibility. Perhaps that is the true gift of Deathworlds, Na said thoughtfully. Not just physical strength, but the wisdom to know how to use it wisely. The 4 of them continued walking, already making plans for a future where Deathworlders were not feared but valued, where their unique strengths would help build a stronger, safer galaxy for all species. Behind them, the council representatives watched in a mixture of awe and lingering fear, not yet understanding that what had entered their meeting as a potential threat had transformed into their greatest potential ally. 2 Deathworlders had walked into a council meeting and left everyone terrified. But in time, perhaps those same Deathworlders would teach the galaxy that strength born of harsh worlds came hand in hand with the deepest appreciation for cooperation, protection, and peace.